Just leaving sunny Cornwall, beautiful warm sunny Cornwall, to go to the frozen north of Norway. I'm really looking forward to it.
We're just moving backwards after about a quarter of an hour's delay. Go in. I think he's going to go in, it's getting late. There we are, wheels down, we're there.
Bergen.
We've arrived on the King Harald tour the west coast of Norway on the Hurtigruten ship. But it's raining in Bergen, or it was raining. You see the low cloud which stopped the aeroplane from landing.
Well, now we've got here at last. It's all a bit daunting. We've just looked at the excursion.
We know Norway's expensive.
Yeah, we know Norway's expensive. Just hope for good weather tomorrow. See how it goes. Yep. We haven't found our cabin yet, so.
A beautiful view from there when we leave Bergen. The bar is open outside. We will put on some music, and after half an hour or so we will pass under a bridge as well. So for the first at least half hour, 45 minutes of our voyage now, be outside and enjoy.
Nearly midnight in Norway, 11 o'clock at home. We should have left half an hour ago. We're 3/4 of an hour late, and the captain's just been on and he said it's going to be another 3/4 of an hour, so I don't think we're going to leave. Here you have the bow of the ship and the ocean, and you can see the ropes are still on. Day 2, we should be in Allison, but of course, as you can see on the screen, we're not. We're still in the same place. I think they've got a trouble with their engines or something. We have heard it running, rumbling away, but then it stopped again, so I've got a feeling we're not going anywhere soon. The captain announced they had a burst pipe, probably hydraulic, and we were invited to take a walk around Bergen, which we duly did.
Now then, Jack, where are you?
We're going ashore in Bergen, the rainiest place in Norway, and I think it's going to rain again. I'm going to say a prayer.
This is the cathedral in Bergen.
It's a cathedral, is it? Well,
There's the one who would love this. Somebody called Ian Perry. Just love to paint this. We're in Bergen. We've briefly got about a half hour to walk out and just see what Bergen's like, because the ship wasn't working this morning. We should have been at sea, we're not. But anyway, we're in Bergen, giving us a chance to have a look at Bergen. Although, we're looking at just houses at the moment. I'm hoping that we'll wander around to the main street and just see a bit more of the town.
when you find shops, you want to spend money.
I don't want to spend money.
Back on the ship at the allotted time, we took in the views from the bridge deck, and eventually the ship got moving.
Just amazing how close to the land we get in places. A great big boat. And we've just passed some rocks that were literally yards away. Really good. And over there, there's snow on the mountains. Flushing AGM.
Yeah.
Now, a free glass of wine and nibbles, you miss.
Oh, brother. Look at that one.
All visibility is gone.
Just in the observation shed, and there were just
We are lucky with the weather. It's well worth staying awake to watch this lovely scenery. Yeah.
Are you suggesting it's pity I fell asleep?
Well, you missed it, not me.
Dinner on day one?
Cheers, Jack. Sorry there's none for you.
Well, you did pay for it.
That's what makes it especially nice. I wish there were more people we could interview. This is.
Are you doing candy camera?
Would you like me to give you a look?
Oh yes, please. During dinner we arrived at
Florø.
and then before we finished our dinner we left again. Stop of about 20 minutes. Little marina, not a yacht in it. Nice sunset. After a couple of hours the next stop was
Torvik.
next morning brought us to
Kristiansund.
We're in Kristiansand and we've just arrived here and we've just woke up to this. Absolutely beautiful now because the sun's shining, but 5 minutes ago it was a snow blizzard and we were thinking, oh gosh, are we going to go out in this? But we might actually go for a walk now. Blowing a gale. It was, but it's not now.
a bit of wind. We're just taking a turn around the deck since we spent too long breakfast talking, and so we're not going ashore. As you can see from the chart, most of the journey is within the shelter of the islands in the inshore passage, which is quite calm. There are little bits of the voyage that do go out to sea, and there's a bit of bumpety there. Great excitement, another Hurtigruten ship going the opposite way.
They know who's to sound first.
When we went, first of all, the lunch is from 12 till 2. And we went first of all for the first lunch, and there was a queue a mile long, so we waited until it was nearly 1:30, went for our lunch and walked straight in. So it is nearly all gone, and this afternoon there's excitement because there's going to be a lighthouse.
Oh, we're going to see a lighthouse, yeah.
And they're going to have a talk about it, a long talk, to tell us all about this lighthouse. And I understand that it lights at night.
And from here, we're looking at snow-capped mountains, really, I would say. Mountains, mountains.
Mount Hills.
All very pretty. Snow
And other than that, as usual on a cruise, we're overeating and not getting enough exercise. Looks like we're going to go for this little gap.
Yeah.
You think? I don't think we're too far. I think those people standing on top of the bridge ought really to get off it quick. Give him a blast.
Out tonight to see what's it called, this place?
I don't know. Wherever it
Ålesund.
I think. And it looks just like the place we left this morning.
We woke next morning to see the marker for the Arctic Circle passing the window.
Yeah, we've just crossed the Arctic Circle at the crack of dawn on Jack's birthday. How good is that? Not sure what the outside temperature is yet.
Then we were treated to a crossing the Arctic Circle line ceremony.
Njord, he is old, very, very old. Several thousands of years old. And Njord, he lives under the sea here, so he doesn't hear very well. And it is for this reason necessary to call out for him. And then he rises from the ocean floor. Loud, on 3, with your feet. 1, 2, 3, Njord! Lage bitte und kalten Meer. Wünsche Ihre blaswannigen Leuten jetzt ein kaltes und stürmisches Willkommen in meinem Königreich. Sie sind jetzt unter meinem Schutz und sie haben den gleichen Wert wie Dorsch, Heilbutt, See.
Another Hurtigruten ship passed. Morse K, I wish to communicate.
We're
Ørnes.
in the Arctic Circle now. The first stop is Orness, and it's Jack's birthday. But he's very happy, I think,
I got a map for my
because he's been
birthday.
a miserable old crow for most of the journey.
Entering port, it's K in Morse again, presumably to wake up the harbour authorities.
Bodø.
Yeah, we're in Bodo, in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, we just had a pleasant little walk in Bodo, where we're just leaving now. Jack's highly satisfied now because he had a good stare at a crane, which he hasn't done all week really. So he's smiling now, and it's his birthday.
Yeah, that was leaving.
Solvær.
We're out on the stern deck, freezing cold, waiting for the northern lights to come. Do you think they'll come, Ines?
They might if we wait up all night. It's getting near to midnight now.
I'm not staying all night.
Lots of people out here waiting, hoping.
I'll stay a bit longer and see what happens. Suddenly it was, oh, they're there. But of course, I jest. We didn't see the northern lights. It was far too cloudy. This was recorded in the Fram Museum. We've just woken up as the boat came into port. The place called
Harstad.
This is the view from my bedroom window. And I'm laid in bed shooting this.
We waited up half the night for the northern lights that never happened. Maybe tonight.
So we leave this wonderful town after a stop of about 1 hour. I think there are a couple of small stops before we get to 3 o'clock this afternoon, I think.
Would like to have the Arctic Circle stamp and also a postage stamp. It is possible for a few more minutes now.
Suddenly there's first view of sea ice through the window.
Finnsnes.
One has to ask why he's not going through the mid-large. Perhaps he is.
Tromsø.
Tromsø, in front of the cathedral.
Bloody freezing.
But there's snow everywhere and the temperature's about -5. And we're really enjoying ourselves. The only wooden church, the only wooden cathedral in Norway.
In Norway, built in 1861.
Was it?
Yeah,
It's quite good. And it's warm in here.
and it's warm. It's freezing outside.
As you say, it's -5 or maybe -6 or -10 outside. It's certainly cold. I just asked if there's a thermometer in the town somewhere. The lady said there isn't.
We have paid to come in here. We're not
Oh yes, that's it's 20 kroner,
just about warm.
20 knocks. Awoken on day 5, or is it day 6? I don't know. We've one day to go anyway. And look, this is the scene out of the window. Knowing, looks like it's been snowing all night. That's another Hurtigruten, and this moment, as it happens, we're as far north as we're going to go.
Here along the coast, because of the Gulf Stream, you have in summer maybe 10, 15 degrees, 20 degrees. That is a sunshine day. Then you go swimming. And in winter, it's also not that different. It's minus 10 degrees, minus 15. That's actually maximum. But in the inland of Finnmark, where the Gulf Stream does not reach, here you have a completely different world. In summer it can be 30, 35 degrees, and in winter it can be minus 40 degrees. During the summer months you have the midnight sun. It is daylight all day and night, and of course during the winter you have the polar nights, and the sun does not rise above the horizon for 3 whole months. The Sami population has followed the migration of the reindeers since they arrived here. And of course, over the centuries, they started herding them. And on this island, you have 5 Sami families that herd reindeer. They arrive here with their reindeer in summer and stay here where it is a lush grass for them to eat over the summer months before transporting them back to the border towards Finland in winter. The reason why they transport the reindeers to the much colder areas is because here it is humid. So it forms a layer of ice underneath the snow. And the reindeers cannot dig it down to find the grass under the ice. In the inland it's much colder, but there's no ice. The snow is looser, so they can dig down under the snow to find the grass there. Today they lost a lot of reindeers in springtime. After a long winter in the inland, the reindeers are not very strong. It's not a lot to eat, so they have lost a lot of their power. And you lost many who drowned when trying to cross. From 1970, the Norwegian army helped the Sami population with our naval boats, or army boats, they were transported across. They helped the Sami population and they didn't lose anyone. But after 1999, they built an underwater tunnel between the mainland and the island, and now they can just walk through this tunnel, and none of the reindeers are lost, of course. After a summer here with lots to eat, they grow powerful and strong, and in autumn they have no problem swimming across this strait on the return. We have some pictures of this. This is the autumn migration, and the houses that you will see along here is stopping stations where they gather their reindeer before they cross the strait with them. In summer, the same birch and everything, but you will find them alone because they cannot raise up because of the heavy snow and winds in winter. We often see different whales on this day. Sometimes orcas and the smaller pilot whales. So this is the day to keep a lookout on the water. They do travel a lot in this area.
Lunch is now open in the restaurant for those of you who are on excursions in Hurtigruten.
There's a point of maximum north on this trip. The ship's just about to turn towards the east and then the south. The island that I'm looking at out there is North Cap Island.
We are soon arriving in Honningsvåg in about 10 minutes. And for those booked on the excursions to the North Cape or the fishing village visit, we meet on the quayside upon arrival and we walk together the 200 meters to the excursion buses. You walk first straight ahead and then you take the first left. Expedition team will be on the quayside to show you the way. For those booked on the mountain hike, you can meet a little bit later at 11:30. 11:30 on deck number 3, where you will be handed out your snowshoes. So for mountain hike, on deck number 3 at 11:30. The rest of the excursions when we arrive. For those who are not going on excursions here, we can recommend a visit in the North Cape Museum, located just a few meters from where we dock. And our departure from Honningsvåg today is at 2:45 p.m.
Oh, right. We're in North Cape, the North Cape place that I can't remember the name of, Honningsborough or something. We've just come out for a little walk, and that's our ship over there. And actually, yeah, it doesn't feel that cold to me.
An icicles hang by the wall.
We took a walk around,
Honningsvåg,
and then we looked at the fishing boats and how they fished, and then we went in the museum. Interesting it was, but not exciting. Quite soon it was away again toward
Kirkenes,
last stop. The ship goes east and then south for about 10 miles to
Kirkenes,
It is not very much known about the old Sami traditions. When Christianity came up to this part of the world for the first time, the shamans, drums and traditions were not allowed. The drums were burned and many of the Sami shamans were also burned at the stake during the witch processes. So a lot of information about the old Sami traditions has been forgotten over the years.
quick stop at
Vardsø, Kirkenes,
our fortune cruise ended at
Kirkenes,
we left the ship and headed to the airport.
It was pretty fantastic. The scenery was wonderful. But unfortunately, the man I was with was a bit of a grump. Which
Perhaps you should have got with another man.
I think so.
Then for a few days with my daughter, Susan. She lived in a splendid house overlooking Oslo and Oslo Fjord with deer in the garden sometimes. It was actually unusually snowy at this time, and it snowed again whilst we were there. Susan's house backs onto the land owned by the king or the prince or something of Norway, and the forest just behind, or the woods, have quite a lot of his deer in there, and they come down and they eat Susan's plants from time to time. Susan, of course, was still at work, it being a weekday, and so we arranged to go into Norway to visit the museums, especially the Fram Museum. Now, the Fram is a very special ship designed by Colin Archer to discover the Northwest Passage, and later used for Amundsen's Antarctic adventure.
Ines, are you enjoying your lunch in this little cabin with the northern lights outside?
Yeah. Just enjoyed the other half of yesterday's lunch.
and a cup of tea,
And a nice cup of tea, yeah.
and a
And a film show.
quick lunch.
Oh, well, and a chocolate, yes.
And in this Northern Lights show outside the window in our cabin is quite splendiferous, isn't it?
The 13-man crew of the first gun expedition lived closely together for nearly 3 years. And most of their time off duty was spent in this saloon area. Nansen himself had a separate office beside the chart room on the half deck above, while the galley lay on the same level forward of the saloon. Heating was provided by a paraffin oven located between the two aft cabins, and electric lighting was powered by the windmill on deck, with additional paraffin lamps when needed. There was little separation between officers and crew, and all the men, except the cook and his assistant, ate meals together around the saloon table. Only Nansen, Sverdrup, Scott Hansen, and Blessing had personal cabins. The two larger aft cabins, although small, were designed for 4 men each, but during the expedition, one actually slept 5. Originally, Nansen imposed a no-smoking rule everywhere under deck except in the galley, which became an attractive meeting place, as most of the crew at that time smoked pipes. This rule was discarded after Nansen himself began smoking during the first Christmas.
Kon-Tiki, Highness. We're now on the exhibition of the Ra-1 or Ra-2, a reed boat, but we've done the Kon-Tiki, which is a balsa raft, which tore Heyerdahl across the Pacific on, mad as a hatter of course, and I'm sure that this reed boat did a similar thing, because it's Peruvian reeds, like they have on Lake Titicaca. I know that because I've been there.
Good.
Have you enjoyed your trip on the
Fram?
Kon-Tiki? Around the Fram? Yeah, on the Fram,
No,
yeah.
it's interesting to find. I didn't know anything about the Kon-Tiki, I admit. So I found out a bit about it, yeah. It was good. And the Fram was excellent.
Yeah, remarkable.
We went to sea, didn't we, on the Fram? A bit windy, wasn't it?
We got
Stormy.
quite wibbly wobbly with it. Something that made us think that the boat was rocking. It's firmly fixed to the earth, but it seemed to rock to us. Maybe it's your age, Highness.
The idea of the
Well, I
Ra
often
was to
rock.
cross the Atlantic, taking the same route as the Ark does today. Following day, we went into Oslo and visited the Oslo Opera House, a splendid place, rather wedge-shaped from the externals, but inside it was amazing, and we had a tour and we saw all the operations of how an opera house works. They wouldn't let me get under the stage to see the hydraulics though, because it's a tilting and lifting stage, and they're all hydraulic of course, and they wouldn't let me see it.
With a nice roof walk.
Which we've already done. Which was
In the Oslo Opera House. And yesterday we walked on the roof, and today we're going to have a guided tour of the actual building itself, inside the building. Presumably we're going into the auditorium and wherever.
No, they have changed. This is the same wood as outside in the foyer, it's oak. But they used a chemical process with ammonia. So they changed the color to be dark red-brown. And with the new orange-red color, it's like on the seats, it's like you're coming into a big fire. It's gloomy.
Oh, overnight it snowed again.
So snow clearance began on the Sunday morning.
All too soon it was time to go home again. The Norwegian white snow soon turned to green fields, and then we knew we were home again.